I think it started in the age of when I was 10 probably, and my father's friend who's an artist in his studio, and I was really overwhelmed of the variety of things lying around there and hanging around, and also the whole way of life he lived really impressed me. Yes, the answer is yes, definitely. I mean, I was mostly raised by my mother, who was an artist, and used to be an art teacher as well. Also, I had some practice. It was kind of a forced practice because I got caught doing graffiti when I was 16, and then I had to do some social work. And while they were deciding whether to put me into animal shelter or a retirement castle or something, I saw outside there was a graffiti in their backyard saying art instead of jail or something in German, Kunst statt Knast. And I asked, what is this about? And they said, yeah, you can also go there and do your work there for the hours you are forced to do. Which only was an artist teaching us how to work with oil colors. In the end, I ended up working there for money, and I because I was visiting that studio for a way longer time than I was forced to. Yeah, that was during my time at the university. I was still working. But I was painting interiors in bars or restaurants, but that was just for money. But yeah, I think I earned my money with my own paintings since 2010, probably. I think there are many advantages. It's the flexibility, also being my own boss, living a very interesting life, meeting all these great people out there, and not being forced to be in this terrible circle of going to work every day and doing something you don't like. I don't have to look for a hobby or something, you know, I just do what I want and I enjoy that. Yeah. The first piece of art I sold, I can remember, was a big painting of a cowboy who wasn't there. It was just his shoes and his hat placed there where it should be when there would have been a figure standing. Yeah, so it was the invisible cowboy. Yeah. Oh, I am inspired by so many things and influenced. I just open the gates of my mind when I'm in the studio, and then it just comes. It can be what I just saw when I was on the way to the studio, but it can also be a childhood memory, something someone told me, something I see when I look out of the window. I'm influenced by other artists and by different periods of painting, especially. Yeah, if you would force me to name some periods, I think the Dadaism is super interesting, but also the Impressionism, the Expressionism. I think everything's important. All the history is important to know about, and we can learn from everything, and still in the end I have to do my own thing. Felting was a complete new thing to me when I started in 2017, and it's very different from oil painting, but at the same time it's another way of painting. I transform dyed sheep wool, raw sheep wool, into felt, and the process is very different. So when I place the wool, it's the same like I would paint. So this is the closest it gets to painting. But then when I did that, it's only the handcraft which has to be done to transform it into felt, and the differences are mostly that you have only clean surfaces of different colors, and not like in the painting everything is mixed and has this one color glides into the next one or something, but in felting it's like more color fields next to each other, so it's a very interesting thing to me to being forced to work with that all of a sudden, and I try to get that back into painting also. I hardly ever do any sketches before I paint or draw or felt. Usually everything's being realized while I'm doing it. Yeah. It's actually during daylight is important for me. So I wouldn't say I'm that much of a morning person, but since I have 2 kids, I have to be a morning person. And it's actually very good, this experience being in the studio before 9 a.m. and getting stuff done, a lot of stuff done before it's not even noon. So yeah, I would say the morning and the daylight is very important to me. The show is called Sunsetter after one of my paintings, as I mostly do. I choose one of the paintings and take that name for the title of the show. Sunsetter is a painting depicting a figure walking to the right, almost filling the whole canvas in his height, and it consists of sunset, I would say. So it's a very dark background, and this figure moves and is kind of shining out of the painting. And I just enjoyed that title in that time of the year, in the winter time. Sunsetter, it means for me something like getting a rest, being positive. It's true, there are some darker paintings in here. Also the felt work is kind of very powerful, at least with a ultramarine blue and brownish feels. But it's not meant to be scary or sad or something. For me, it's, as always, the most important part is making good and new paintings. And having dark paintings is giving me the possibility to work with a lot of contrast. And I think that's really interesting, and that's part of the fun for me also. My figures are almost always nude because it's all about humans, and as soon as you add clothing, you could tell something about the time it has been made in the painting. And I like the idea of not knowing, not being able to tell when this painting was made. Or on the other hand, I enjoy making paintings from human figures without any hint of the time we are living in, but still transporting our time we are living in right now only through the colors, through the expressions, through the way I put the color on the canvas. So I think that's also, of course, want to add something new, but I don't want to let them hold iPhones or eat at McDonald's to let the people know it's recent. For me, painting large paintings is the purest way of painting, because the closer I am to the canvas and the bigger the canvas is, the less I understand what I'm doing there in that moment, or at least I wouldn't know, okay, this is the left leg of a figure. But for me in that moment it's just a huge pile of pink or brown or whatever, which could be the skin color in the end. And so I just think about the surface and the color fields, and I really have to step back to understand what am I doing there. And this gives me the opportunity to treat the painting only as a painting, not like an illustration or something. When you know, okay, I'm painting a figure now. That's also the reason why there are some paintings with very, very small figures in it, because it's the same. I can do them in one brush stroke, more or less. And it's also not very important where the shadow underneath the left elbow is or something, but it's just like painting. I think contemporary art, especially figurative painting, is a field which is super full. There's so many people doing that, and that's and I adore that. I mean, I use Instagram as probably almost everyone right nowadays, and I see so many paintings every day, only as like very small pictures. And it's so interesting. In the beginning I was like, oh no, everyone's doing that and there are so many people doing it better. But the closer you get to each one's work, the more you see it's also only just color on canvas. So I just keep on doing my thing, and I'm happy that it seems to be important for so many people. I have several things in my mind which might come up one day, but right now I'm really full of work with felting and painting, and I think that's enough for now, but there will be new things coming up soon as well.